All right, we are live. E10 week. What are we? Week 11.
Moving
All right.
along.
Week 11. All right. Yeah, we're gonna jump into some picks. Me and Dante. Now is it recording? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, me and Dante submitted our rankings to each other. They were pretty spot on, honestly. There were just a couple that were flipped one way or another, but we had the top two, actually the top four the same. And then there was just a little bit of flipping, but it was pretty much the same. Jumping into number 10, we got Lou. And the reason Lou's team is technically probably a little bit better than the next team, but he's got one win, so we just have to call a spade here.
Yeah, I had, this was one of the ones that were flipped. I had Lou at 9, but I mean, effectively out of the playoffs. I mean, tough to move. So
I mean, he's thinking about next season. I mean, come on. Anyway, the next one, we got Team Whoppers. The downward spiral is gonna continue on this week as well. I can promise you that. Yeah, I mean, Henry's gone. Mahomes is gone. You're fighting the good fight. You're fighting the good fight.
How'd that trade work out in the last 2 weeks? I don't know. What did Mahomes have a good game last week? I'm not really
he had
sure.
a bad week. The first time I had him, he only put up 14 points, and then he put up 52. So really, he's putting up like 30 a game, which I guess is good.
That sounds a decent average, I guess. And what about Zach Moss and who
Dude,
was
he
it?
He had 9 points last week. That's great. That's great.
Is your RB2?
Burrow was on a bye. Burrow was on a bye. That's not my fault.
Oh man.
Not my fault.
Okay. So
okay.
you get a 0 then. So nothing. Okay. Just check.
So I mean, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I'm about to have a bye next week with Mahomes. Burrow probably put up 50 that week.
See that.
Number 8, we got Steph. She's trying. Her team's much better than her record, but it's just not working out. Yeah, I don't know.
just snake bit unlucky again. Had some good players, but I thought she would maybe make a move a few weeks ago, but she's just kind of riding.
Yeah.
Gave up. So sounds like, it looks like you're kind of giving up a little bit, Steph. Which
it's starting to give up. I mean, she's got Cam Newton starting this week right now, so I don't know what to say.
He might have a good game, actually. I actually like him.
He could have it. He actually, especially against Washington, yeah, he could have a good game. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. In my opinion, I think Dante is aligned with this. These are the 7 teams that are vying for the 6 playoff spots. A couple of them are, locked up for the most part. I think 2 are really locked up, and honestly, I think 3 through 7 are fighting for those last 4 spots. And these last 4 weeks is going to be a free for all. So some people are better positioned than others, and I think that first one we got, let's see here, I believe it is Brandon, Brady's Bunch, sitting at number 7. I mean, you have a solid team, but it's nothing to get excited about. Like I don't think anyone would say, "Hey, I'd rather face Jacob than Brandon as the 60 with this current team." Mike Evans, yeah, Tom Brady, obviously, but you have Ty Johnson in there as your second running back. Like, who else do you have at running back? Like, you have nobody at running back.
Patterson's hurt, so that's just,
it's just, yeah.
And that's pretty much right. I mean, you got a couple horses in Najee and Brady. They're 1 and 3 respectively, and he's got a good defense and a good kicker. Everyone else is just kind of middling around. Looks like you may be chasing points with Elijah Moore a little bit. Maybe he's good. Christian Kirk. I guess Goddard's banged up. I mean, Hunter Renfro's been a nice little pickup, but as your number 2, I don't know. You really need Antonio Brown and Patterson back to make that run into the top 6. So
and
for you.
Maybe if Kamara gets, can't sit out has to sit out 1 more week, and Ingram gets to start against Philly, that would be good against Philly. So, but anyway, moving on. Let's see here. So number 6, we got Craig Lucky Tree. He's got his 1-2 punch that he's been dreaming of for several years with Cook and McCaffrey. McCaffrey's, I don't even know if he's gotten in the end zone yet. I can't remember, but he gets the catches and yards every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two guys, and I'm kind of looking at your team, Craig, and some of these little rookie guys can pop up here and there, but I think you need about, I'd say 70 points out of Dalvin and Christian McCaffrey every week. With not one, if one of them gets you like a 12 or something, you're going to lose. You need those guys to really be. I'm talking 70 points between the two of them. Because you don't have a top 24 wide receiver, and Kyle Pitts, he's the only guy on their offense right now, especially this week going up against Patriots. They like to take away their best, and we'll get into the predictions, this week, but they're going to be keying in on that rook. No Calvin, no Cordarrelle. He's going to see triple coverage, and who's going to run the ball? Wayne Gallman. So anyway, Darnell Mooney and Dearness Johnson now. I know
after CMC and Cook, there's nothing to really get excited about on this team at all. But he knew that. Cook's going up against Green Bay, who all of a sudden has a great defense. So yeah, I don't know. It might be tough sledding, but I mean, I think it'd be hard pressed for him not to make the playoffs with those two guys if they stay healthy. But if one of them goes down, he'll just lose out.
Very possible, and hopefully some of these guys can grow if he does make the playoffs, because I don't know if anyone's going to be really scared of him in the playoffs.
If you're one of the guys that has a bye, or you're the 3rd seed or something, and you're like, I get to face this team. Cool.
Yeah. So still in there, Craig. Keep fighting.
Hang on. Number 5, we got Renee down with the patriarchy. So the popular, actually it's Fuck the Patriarchy, and the new Taylor Swift All Too Well song from the new re-released Red album that is crushing the internet right now.
How do you know so much about Taylor Swift? I don't know. It's just
that's another time for that.
Okay.
But I tell you what, you don't want to be Jake Gyllenhaal right now.
Were they dating or something? I don't even know. We're
man, that's a funny story. But she just re-released a song that was previously 6 minutes long. That's now 10 minutes long. That is just destroying this man. Anyway, some really powerful lyrics. But it was like, anyway, we can get into that later. Or not. Renee's team. This is a team that you don't want to face in the playoffs, because you've got a lot of boom players. You got Josh Allen, who is a 40 burger waiting to happen every week. You have Eckler, who is top 5 running back. You have Tyreek Hill, who is, top 2 wide receiver. I mean, the guy's a monster, can put up 45 points in the first quarter if he wants. And then you have Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. And she's got some solid people on the bench with Brandon Ayuk and Jacoby Myers. So this is a good team.
Yeah, I like it because she's kind of wide receiver heavy, and I mean, this is a full point PPR. I know people love the running backs because they're rare. Like, there's only like 12 of them that you can actually trust every single week. But if you don't have that and you can stack it up, even Devontae Smith is playing; he's balling out right now.
Yeah, he is.
You've got 4, and then don't gloss over Michael Carter. That was a nice little. I think she drafted him late. He's a 19th right now in the year, and he didn't even really get all the carries in the beginning of the year, so they're going to be behind. He catches the ball. Michael Carter is an RB2 the rest of the way, and so Renee, from top to bottom, this is a team you don't want to see in the playoffs, and she's going to make the playoffs, and so scary.
Yep, I concur. All right, so the number 4 team is my team. It's my time. Who you have to say pre-draft is the owner of the year right now, with GM of the year, with the moves that I have crafted with this team. And I just so fortunately lucked in to AJ Dillon for 1 or 2 weeks during this stretch. But I like where I'm positioned right now. I think I have a good chance, especially where I was a few weeks ago. I got Barkley back. Um, I mean, Patty's gonna light it up this week against my Dallas team. That's going to be a shootout. um, I can't wait to watch that game. Yeah, that's going to be because Dallas is going to put up a lot of points. I can tell you that against that defense. So they're going to have to throw. But Travis Kelce's going to ball out too. We have problems against tight ends. AJ Brown's going up against Houston. I mean, yeah. Anyway, I like my team.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I mean, I know maybe Mitchell's a little banged up with the little pinky or whatever it is, but Gibson finally showed up with a game that he's supposed to have with 23.8
Right.
points. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good. I mean, you got some very interesting next 2 weeks ahead of you, but
very much
on paper, obviously a playoff team, which you didn't have 3 weeks ago, and now you do. So congratulations.
Well, we'll see what happens. I do have two tough opponents these next 2 weeks, so we'll see. Number 3, we got the murder boner. We got the guy standing, sitting across from me. So, yeah, I mean, this is a top to bottom solid team. You've got the running backs, you've got depth, you got the number 1 wide receiver. Even though he's 5th in fantasy right now, he's still the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy. He's missed some time, and Aaron Rodgers missed some time, so both of those things worked against him. Darren Waller is really the question mark right now. He is not getting looked at like he used to. He's almost like a decoy out there for some reason. And then, Cooper's a little boomer bust, but and then Gasson's starting to come on, even though he had a bad week last week. He's going to have a monster game this week. I can tell you that. But yeah, and then Darrell Henderson, obviously playing great. I'd say the issue with your team that you're concerned with is you really only have one boom player right now, in Devontae Adams. Like, I don't know that anyone else is going to like throw up a 40 burger. And, you wouldn't be surprised that they put up a 40 burger unless I'm missing someone. Adam Thielen,
Yeah, no, I think that's fairly accurate. I mean, I think Devontae Adams is the only guy on my team where you expect like 30, or 20,
right.
But the rest of the guys, I mean, you look at Robinson, 9, 11 games, I think, 8 of them have been 20 plus. Leonard Fournette, he's a 20 guy. Deontay Johnson is as steady as they come.
Yeah, that's why I said you're solid. Like you got steady points from everybody, which is, that's if you don't have a boom guy, that's what you have to have.
Right.
So
you're right about Waller. He hasn't been what he is, but he's still sitting 6th, which lets you know the tight end landscape is when
bad.
Darren Waller had that 40-point game week 1, and he's just been a top 10 guy the rest of the way, but he's still sitting at 6th. Tight end's just horrible this year. But other than that, you're right. I mean, I think I'm still 4 deep at wide receiver, 4 or 5 deep at running back. Herbert, he can be a little bit up and down, but earlier in the year he put up 50 something points. So I'm gonna make the playoffs. I think who I'm facing and when will determine. I'm not saying I'm going to run the table all the way through. It could be one of those times where you're half your team puts up single digits, and then you're going to lose to Martin or Bill or whoever. So,
you have an interesting matchup we'll talk about in a minute. It should be very interesting this week. We have a lot of good scenarios this week. All right, so number 2, we got Martin scores easy.
Yep.
Could be won very, very easily, especially with the way James Conner is balling out. Hunter Henry all of a sudden is a top 5 tight end. Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like negative. You got a great 1-2 in Zeke and Mixon, Dak, obviously, who's probably going to win MVP. Cooper Kupp. I mean, there's nothing else. I mean, yeah, Cooper Kupp. I mean, God. I mean,
he's got Cooper the best in the highest scoring team in the league. So, it's finally Martin, what does it say? Broken clocks right 2 times a day. He drafted the team. He stuck with it, made no changes. I think he has like less than 5 pickups all year. He's gotten really, pretty good with the health. That always helps, but he drafted solidly. So can't take anything away from his draft.
And this is also with Mike Williams falling off a cliff after the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, true.
All right. So our number one team is Bill, the reigning champ. Could we have a repeat winner finally? You know, in the P10 league. I mean, Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews 1-2 punch. I mean, come on. Nick Chubb, even though he's been out, he's been banged up, but Jonathan Taylor, number one fantasy running back. CeeDee Lamb just beasting on people, like, and he's talking shit to every every cornerback after every catch. He just like putting it in their face. DJ Moore's fallen off because he had a couple of big weeks, but I'd say my criticism here is your depth. You're pretty thin, and like you have Michael Gallup in your lineup right now at flex, which I know this is going to be a high scoring week, but still, I don't know that I like that. So your depth is something I'm concerned about. I think a big thing that could tip him over the scale and just really lock it up is if Stevenson for New England is that guy like he was last week, which this guy had a lot of hype coming out of training camp, and then he had some fumble issues. Now he's starting to ball. That guy could be. I have him in another league, and I started him last week, and I, obviously won. So that guy could be a beast.
Agreed. Yeah. No, I mean, it's just the Patriots. They got like 4 guys they want to use. Game script. Is it a Bolden week? Is it a Harris week? Is it a Stevenson week? So it's kind of one of those things where you kind of need an injury, but he looks the part of a 3-down back. He can catch the ball. He can run between the tackles. So, Ramondre, maybe he's a keeper for you next year or something like that. But I agree with Chase Edmonds going down. Your depth is you're in that situation a little bit, Bill, where I was talking about Stephanie's team. Got a lot of great players. Got guys that can put up 40 burgers, and Lamar and Jonathan Taylor and Stephon Diggs. You've got one of the top 2 tight ends in the league. One of them dudes goes down, you're going to be in trouble. And so, you may want to look to fill out some depth here a little bit, just to, solidify yourself, or roll the dice. But I know things got a little bad. Hit a little 2-game slide where, when Chubb went down and things like that, you lost 2 games in a row, I think. So just hopefully everybody stays healthy. But if somebody goes down, you could be in trouble.
He could definitely be in trouble. I mean, Stephon Diggs. I mean, yeah, any of his like studs go down, especially Jonathan Taylor goes down. I don't know that you can recover from that with your running back situation. So, but anyway, I mean, that's what we're picking on. I mean, your team's great.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into some picks here. The first one we're going to offer up is a layup. King Papaloo against Martin Scorsese. Martin Scorsese gets that dub, moves on.
There's another layup. We're going to go ahead and go with Bill and James, reigning champ. Sorry, James. Bill should walk all over you.
Yeah.
That's over.
Yeah, you're going to move to 5 and 6, which I think there's going to be several 5 and 6 teams after this week. Next, we'll jump into, let's save that one. Let's go with Lucky Tree. Let's go with the Lion House matchup, which I really wish this game was next week so that we could be there for the Thanksgiving and watch that play out, even though it probably won't matter for one of them. Craig can effectively, I think almost mathematically, destroy her season. Put the final nail, because she could technically win out and get there on points potentially. Small chance. I think she got like a 2% chance. But I'm going with Craig.
It always seems to come every year down to these two playing each other for something big, right? And so, Craig, if you win, you lose, and if you lose, you win. Like with this one, right? Like
poor
the happy life, poor bastard. Do you want the happy life, happy wife, or you want the ring? Which one do you want more? But you know what? I'm actually going to take Stephanie in this win. I like some matchups here. I actually like the revenge game. Ron Rivera, Cam Newton. Kittle is back healthy. We'll see about Galladay and whatnot. Cooks against Tennessee. He's still going to get the targets. I know there's some people, that are hurt for her, obviously with Hopkins, Murray, and Jones. But this game is going to be closer than it looks like on paper. And I just, I think
Galladay has a good game. I think Galladay coming back has a good game against Tampa's secondary, which is awful. So, yeah, I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Stephanie wins because then I put him at 6-5, and that really muddies the water.
Yeah.
So we'll do my time and me and Renee's game next down with the patriarchy.
Well,
This
that's
is
the game of the week. That's the game of the week.
all right.
Am I-
Well, all right.
let's do
We'll
me and
slide
Brandon
over.
first.
We'll slide over to I was gonna give I was gonna give Brandon and you
No,
top billing, but it's fine. Um, this is going to be not a good game. Um, I think Dante, you're positioned to have a pretty solid win here. I just don't see where the points are going to come from on Brandon's lineup this week. Yeah, I just don't see it. I think Darren Waller gets out of his funk a little bit this week. Um, I think Devontae Adams has a spectacular 30-point game, 27-point game. I'm calling it right now, 27 points. And I think Amari Cooper puts up 22. And Miles Gaskin's going to put up 18 to 22. And I think that right there is enough to win this game.
That looks right on paper. And as I look at Brandon's team, it's just unfortunate that he can't get Cordell Patterson and Brown back in there, or else his game would be a lot closer. Sutton's on by, even though he hadn't been playing well. There might be one of these things, Brandon, where I'm 25-point favorite. We all know what that means. You might want to shake it up and swing for the fences. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts against New Orleans at home, and I know you got Brady. I'm just saying that I don't be surprised if Jalen Hurts out.
Oh my God, he's trying to get in your head right now.
Dude,
oh
I swear to God. I'm not. Jalen Hurts has never finished outside the top 10 all season long. Now,
what Brandon's gonna do? He's gonna be like, "Fuck it, putting it Hurts."
He does say "fuck it" and just does. Just
look, down.
Keep Brady in, because if you lose and Brady is not in any outpour, I get it. You're like, oh, I should start. Jalen Hurts is going to outscore Brady this week. I'll put that one on the board. All right.
Okay. All right.
Now,
all right.
This is the game.
This is the game of the week. Me and Renee both projected to get 160 or over. I don't think anyone else projected to get in the 60s. Maybe I'm wrong. You are okay. Yeah, that's right. You were 165. So, this is going to be a very interesting game. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen going against. I feel like both of those. I think, man, they're projected almost the same amount of points. Indy can be scored on, but I think they have a better defense than
Dallas.
No, excuse me. I'm sorry. They do not have a better defense. Because people have been scoring on them, and Josh Allen has struggled a little bit against some teams, like that Jacksonville game. I think that's going to be a high-scoring game, though. I think that Mahomes turns the ball over twice. I'm going to say he fumbles the ball once, and I'm going to say he throws one pick, and I think Trayvon might even take one back. I don't know. He hasn't taken one back in a few weeks. He's already taken back two this year. If Elijah Mitchell plays against Jacksonville, I like that. I like Antonio Gibson against Carolina. Love Kelsey against Dallas. And Barkley against Tampa Bay, don't love so much, but I love AJ Dillon against Minnesota this week. I'm gonna snake bit myself. I'm gonna pick myself here because I need to win. I can't lose this game because I have Martin next week, so I gotta win, and I gotta put me and Renee both at 5 and 6.
If you look at this as the game of the week, big high, look, she's got all wide receivers in the flex, and he's got the running backs, right? And there's a lot. And look, don't sleep on Tyler Conklin. That guy is sneakily. He's
such an ass. I can't stand him. I played against him, so I'm like, fuck.
And so Devontae Smith in New Orleans, Justin Jefferson against Green Bay. Obviously, the Tyreek Hill, we already talked about that. Michael Carter against Miami. Miami's got the DBs. You can run all over them. I in a full point PPR, if Dylan doesn't get in the end zone, he could have 120 yards. But if he doesn't get in the end zone, that's only 12 points.
Right.
Just the PPR. I got to ride with Renee on this one.
Okay. It's not a bad
really good wide receiver.
She's projected to win. Tyreek Hill could have a 35-point game because the way, if they're going to have Diggs on Hill, and he likes to go for that ball, and if he misses it, and he catches that ball, that's a TD.
Oh, yeah.
Because our safety coverage when it comes down low has not
Big
been
spot
great
ball.
this year.
I didn't even
So,
think about that. That's crazy.
but yeah, I mean, Tyreek Hill could put up 35. That game's gonna be interesting but I cancel out a little bit because I have Mahomes. So, so I get points if she gets points. So we'll see. That's the game of the week. But yeah, we're split on those last two. So we'll see what happens.
Renee, you can effectively pretty much knock Jacob out of the playoffs.
Yeah, because I don't know if I'm going to win next week against Martin because I have my Chiefs out. So I have to win. Yeah, Renee, you win this week. I don't think I can win. I don't think I can make it. I think you give the third seed a layup win in the first round if you beat me.
It's gonna be some interesting stuff. Well, good deal,
right,
man.
Hope everyone enjoyed it. See y'all in a week. Later.
Later, y'all.